How's it going, YouTubers? It's Schleich Horse Lover 200 here again with another Tack Tip Tuesday, and I believe this is number 3, so it's all super exciting. And today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the very basic but essential things you're going to need for model horse tack making. Now this video is kind of going to be more for beginner tack makers, but don't worry, if you're more experienced, I will be having some more Tack Tip Tuesdays coming out in a few more weeks that might be more up your alley. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the video and let's get into it. Okay, so the very first and very important thing you're going to need for making model horse tack is a glue gun. And I'm sure most of you probably already knew this, but I just want to throw out there that when you're buying your glue gun, make sure you get a low temp. It'll be so much easier to work with. And also, try to find one with a small barrel at the end where the glue comes out. It'll just make things a lot easier when you're making super small tack for like Schleich horses. Also, I get asked a lot in video comments if there is other glues you can use other than hot glue for model horse tack making. So I know this glue here is a really awesome glue if you're going to be using leather. So maybe you're making a leather saddle or a leather halter. I know this works really good for that. I've actually never tried stick glue before. Personally, I don't think it would work very good, but I've never tried it. And here's Elmer's glue, and I think I have tried this, and in my opinion, it just dries way too slow. So, as you can see, for just regular tack making, I like the hot glue gun, but if you have a glue that you like to use and it's not hot glue, please leave it down in the comment section of this video so you can share it with everybody. And because I really don't know of any other glues, so it'd be nice to see, sorry I can't talk today, what other options there are out there, because maybe your parents don't want you to use hot glue because maybe they're worried about you getting burned or something. So I'm sure there's other options out there if you did some research and tried a few different brands. Alright, so anyways, next up you're going to need some very basic tools like scissors, and I recommend having 2 pairs of scissors. So I have a big pair and a small pair, and I use the big pair all the time for cutting my felts, when I'm cutting out blankets and stuff like that. And then my little scissors come in so handy when I'm making small stuff like halters and I'm cutting my ribbon. So I definitely recommend investing in 2 pairs of scissors. And you're also definitely going to need a small pair of wire cutters. These are great for when you're making buckles and stirrups and you gotta cut wire. And you also can use them for cutting jump rings, even though I don't think I've ever really had to do that. But if I ever did, I got my wire cutters. Yeah, so basically you just use these for cutting wire for when you're making, stuff out of wire. But you're definitely going to need a pair of those, and I also recommend getting small because making miniature tack, everything's going to be miniature. And you're also going to need a pair of miniature wire pliers, needle-nosed. So these ones are really nice. They're quite old, but they work amazing. And you use those when you're making buckles, stirrups, and I use them on jump rings. I use these literally every time I make tack. You're also going to want to add a small roller to your tack blocks, and these are really easy to find, along with a Sharpie marker for tracing out like saddle trees on like, what's it called, tin or cereal box cardboard to make saddles. So you're going to need a marker. And if you want to get into braiding lead ropes, you're going to need a small C-clamp. And these are so awesome because you can clamp them onto your workbench or onto your desk or counter, whatever you're doing. You just clamp them on, and then you get a jump ring. Well, you take the jump ring that's attached to your lead rope you're going to be braiding, and then you just put it onto this thingy dad right here, and you just put it on there, and you can pull as hard as you want, and you don't have to worry about a thing, and just braid away, and it's so awesome. So always have one of these if you're going to be doing that. And if you plan on cutting lots of popsicle sticks, you're going to want to get a set of bigger wire cutters. So they're just like these ones, only a lot bigger. And these are great for cutting popsicle sticks. They work amazing. Now, I know they make a tool that is for popsicle sticks to cut them, but these were just in my dad's toolbox, and I think they work just as good. So I carry one of these for popsicle sticks. Y'all might want to throw a paintbrush into your toolbox just because I think they're handy to have, because when you need to paint a grooming kit or who knows what, you have a paintbrush. Alright, so those are all the super basic but super essential tools you're going to need for tack making. Now let's move on to the super essential supplies you're going to need. Alright, so for materials, you are definitely going to need jump rings, and these are just silver 6mm jump rings, and I like to use 6mm. I just think it's a great size for Schleich horse tack, and it even works good for Breyer horse tack, I think. So I use 6mm, and also you're probably going to want to get some lobster clips or clasp. They're just very small little clips, and they're great for lead ropes and anywhere where you need kind of like a clip or whatever. Yeah, so anyway, I'm rambling, but I like to use 12mm. I just like the size, but of course, once again, if you want them to be bigger or smaller, you can get whatever size you like. And you might also want to get some wire. These are great for stirrups and buckles, and my wire made a big ball out of itself, so it's a total mess. But yeah, and I am so sorry, but I cannot remember what gauge this is. For some reason, I'm thinking 26, but I am not sure. I don't know. I can't remember. But you just want a good wire. You don't want it to be super thin where it's flimsy. You just want to make sure you can bend it into buckles and stirrups or whatever you want it to be. So definitely some wire. You might also want to get some chain for making pretty Arabian show halters. And when you're shopping for chain, just get a nice lightweight but good quality chain. You don't want a chain where all the links are sticking together. I've had that happen to me where you buy really cheap chain and the links stick together, and it just does not work very good if you're trying to make a halter out of it. So get a good quality chain, make sure it's small. It should be about this size, and yeah, it should work good. And then you're also definitely 100% going to need ribbon. This is just 3mm ribbon. You can get it in any color you could possibly want. It's so awesome. I use ribbon on everything. The kind of ribbon I buy, the spool is like this. It's made in the USA, so it's super awesome. And at Michael's, this is only like 50 cents. So yeah, it's super cheap. Super good. Definitely going to need this. And like I said, you can get it in any color you could possibly want. And then also get some felt while you're at it. Felt is like, where I buy it's like 39 cents a sheet. It's super cheap. And felt you use for blankets and saddles. Like for my saddles, I just use like brown felt. It looks awesome, I think, and it works really good. Yeah, so saddle pads, I use felt all the time. You can get it in any color. Once again, super cheap. Definitely two must-haves for model horse tack making. And if you got your C-clamp while you were at Home Depot and you want to do lead ropes and you want to braid them, definitely get some string. I call it string, but technically it's called embroidery floss, I believe. So once again, any color you could possibly want. I keep a good stock of it, and this works awesome for braiding lead ropes. And while you're at buying all your supplies, definitely pick up an organizer for everything. You can get a toolbox like I have with little slots to put your jump rings and lobster clips in, clasp or whatever. Or you can buy a box like this. Well, I have a bunch of these and it goes into a bigger box. Yeah, or you can get something like that. It doesn't really matter, but trust me, an organizer makes everything so much easier. And lastly, and yes, I believe this is the last thing I'm going to show you, you might want to pick up some Velcro, just because it's nice to have Velcro around when you're making blankets. You might want to do a Velcro blanket like I did on this one. So it just makes it really easy to take it on and off. Or you can just use 2 jump rings and make a buckling system that way. Or you can just make a buckle out of wire. But I know some people really like Velcro because it's super easy. So if you like the Velcro style of blankets, definitely pick up some Velcro. Alright everybody, so those are all the items and supplies and tools I highly recommend new tack makers to purchase when they're going to the craft store for their very first time shopping for Schleich horse tack making supplies. If you feel like I have forgotten anything or you have a tip or idea you would like to share, please put it down in the comment section for everybody to see. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. And I just want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye guys!